So I graduated from Australia. I studied engineering, majoring in chemical and metallurgical engineering. On my last year of study, I worked part-time at the research office as a research officer at JKMRC, and I continued working there after I graduated for another 3 years. And then I got offered a job at the mineral processing consultancy called AMEC. Worked there another 2 years, and in 2014, the crisis hit Australia, so I got to move. I got late because there's no projects in any consultancy. So yeah, I thought it was time to go back and help my family business, which is yeah. So it's basically it's a mineral processing. It's a quarry. It's a stone quarry is basically producing stones and sands and pebbles for construction. So buildings, roads, and everything. And then in 2000 and after that, I'm now working as in ornaments. I built my own business as a barista and also a founder. Next. All right. So Ornaments was established in 2016, along with 3 other founders, friends and family. Our first store was in Pluit, but it's already closed now. But afterwards, we opened another 2 stores. One in Mega Kuningan, in Sopodel building. Another one is in Chandra Town Square. And we're gonna build our own roastery as well, progressing. Roastery means roasting coffee, yeah. So yeah, so this is our store in Sopodel. Some of you might have already seen this. That iconic stage. And this. So that's the other store. So how did I started how did I change course from engineering into food industry? So it started off as like an easy journey. I went through my friend's house. He was a coffee connoisseur, and he would make coffee for me, and then I would try. And he would give me different, origins from Colombia, from Brazil, from Ethiopia, and I got excited, and it got my attention because its origin tastes differently. So, and afterwards I, go on coffee hopping in Australia, and yeah, before I know it, I bought my own coffee machines, make coffee at home. And when I go back to Jakarta, I saw the growing business in F&B industry at that time. So yeah, and also I went to the competition, like a barista competition. I didn't know that such thing at that time. So there's a barista competition that was in 2015. So I went to go back home. I got excited, and that night I decided to, this is what I want to do, and I want to become barista and want to have my own coffee shop. So obviously, I got a lot of pressure. So mostly from family and peers and relatives. So from family. So imagine this: my family, my parents have had a clear pathline for me. So he already paid everything. He sent me to Australia. I studied chemical and metallurgical, which is basically mineral processing. So they expected me to take over the job. But and it takes a lot of time and effort and money as well. And obviously, being a barista and open a cafe wouldn't be one of their. It's not something that they're excited. From friends and relatives, I get comments like, how much do you make a month? Wasting your time and effort. It's a small business. What are you thinking? And why don't you just sit nicely at your dad's throne, concentrating on that, and just wait for money to come. So I get a lot of this and many more. I get a lot of, and these are the recurring sentences that I always get from my family, from my relatives and friends. So obviously this pressure becomes fear, and fear to take the next step, and fear to fail. So how did I overcome that? So first for me is to have a time management plan. At the time I was still juggling between two jobs. First one is to help my parents with the business, and the other one is Ottomans. So I have to have a clear management plan so I can be successful in both areas, right? So with my dad's business, I have to be in office Monday to Friday from 9 to 5 or 6. But along that week, I would be on the side as well, working. So for that 5 days, usually I would have 1 or 2 days living on site. And on the other side, the Ottomans, we open from 7 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. at night. So what I gotta do is I gotta wake up at 6 o'clock, get ready, and 6:30 I'll be at the outlet, because we still have a small team, right? So I gotta be there and help the team. So I gotta prepare the outlet so it's ready to operate at 7. Includes everything, so cutting fruits, cutting everything, doing all the small things, mopping, taking up the chairs, cleaning up the tables. So that's what I do from 7 to 8:30, and then after that I go to office with my dad at dad's office, and then from 6 o'clock I would drive back again to the outlet and do the same thing, help the operation again from 6 to 10, and sometimes to 11 because I got to help out with closing. So again, mopping floors, washing dishes, and everything. So I gotta have that time management plan, and I was committed. So I was ready to do that before it even started. So I already planned that in my mind. Be committed. So if people ask me, am I tired or was I tired at that time? Obviously I was tired. So I did that for 2 years non-stop, Monday to Sunday, every day. On Saturday and Sunday, when I'm not at my desk office or there's nothing to do at it, I'll be at the outlet from morning to night. So I did that for the whole 2 years without any break. Was I tired? Obviously I was tired, but I live on a principle where I can't be lazy. See, if I become lazy, then I would be disrespectful for people who trust on me. So that's my mentality, and that kept me going forward and make sure that I committed to what I have committed before. See? It's the next one. Be a winner. Be a winner doesn't mean that you will always be number one, but having the mentality and the hunger to always making progress. The idea is, what can I do today so I can be a better person or better version of myself yesterday and moving forward. So I always have that mentality. For example, during my competition, so we have 2 regionals, right? West and East. So I was competing still in the West, so I can qualify for the national. So in that 2017, the regional I didn't do well. I was placed 12th out of 50, which is still okay. I still qualified for the national, but I was disappointed because I put a lot of time and effort to achieve my target, which is in the top 6. But I didn't. So I was disappointed, but I wasn't discouraged. I know that I can do better, so I would dissect everything, starting from the coffee, my presentation, my workflow, really talk to the judges and find out what I did wrong so I can be better prepared for my national competition. So I did that. I put more time and more effort. So in the national stage, I was lucky to win. It was quite surprising. I didn't plan to win. My aim was only in the top 6, but luckily I won, and because I won, I got to represent Indonesia in the world competition. So I remember clearly at that night, after all the celebration, got the title and everything, got back home, and I was thinking to myself, what can I do? What can I do better so I can compete in the world stage? You know, so having that mentality to always wanting to move forward and be a better person. So that was on my mind. So for the internet world stage, I prepared for 2 months. What I did was I dedicated 6 days a week and 10 hours a day doing countless experiments, all the details, starting from the water, the chemistry, the coffee, the roasting, and I did that for 10 hours a day non-stop. And a lot of time I forgot to have my meal because I was so concentrated in what I was doing. So, be a winner. Always having that mentality to always want to do the best in everything we do. Number 4 is stay focused. It's easy to have a goal, and it's easy to have a plan, but it's harder to stay focused. And a lot of time in this generation, it's easy for us to give up, and it's easy for me to give up as well. A lot of distraction, a lot of godaan, a lot of like having just nice lifestyle, laying at home, do nothing, seeing Instagram, seeing what people do. A lot of godaan for me. But I think whenever I got distracted, I gotta remember to myself that I have responsibility to people who relies on me, and have to be strong for them, not to give up. So they can rely on me. For example, again for the competition, easier for me. I was so focused in what I want to achieve that I would repeat my presentation on my bed, while I was taking shower, while I was driving. I would talk to myself, and then sometimes just at the public space I would do all the funny movement for the competition, like, you know, just putting portafilter or pouring. It's like, and people think that I was crazy, but I don't care. You see, I don't care because I was so focused and I wanted to achieve what I was planning to achieve, and nothing was gonna distract me for that. Build a team. I can't stress enough to have a strong team because I don't think I can achieve what I achieve without having a team that support me, and having a team that advise and give you honest opinion. So I can't tell everything, but you know, if you have a strong team, a lot of times it's 50% of your job are done because you have a strong team. I'm gonna talk that again. So fail again. I got inspired. The fail again is the conversation that took place in a very popular TV show called Games of Thrones. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the series. So this conversation took place at when Jon Snow, after he got killed by his colleague because he was fighting for what he believed. And this is the conversation they took. So Sir Davos said, "You were dead, and now you're not." And Jon replied, "I did what I thought was right, and I got murdered for it. And now I'm back. Why? Why should I continue?" And Davos replied, "No, you go on. You fight for us as long as you can. You clean up as much of the center as you can." And Jon said, "But I failed." Davos replied, "Good, now go and fail again." So first point is that don't expect when you have a good plan or right plan that things will be easy. Jon took a radical move and plan to save this humanity. At that time, they only know Westeros, right? They tried to save He tried to save Westeros by doing radical plan, and he got opposition. He even got killed by it. So it will be like us too. So when we have a good plan, some people, even those people who are close to us will try to play you down and try to kill your dream. So don't expect things to be smooth and easy. Now, second point is that at this point, Jon was about to give up. Right? Jon was. You have to understand that he just got killed, and he was raised again, and there's nothing for him to fight again. He got a second chance. Why would I get killed again, right? But having the boss, having a good people and advisor around him is crucial, because the boss really encouraged him to move forward. So point number 2 is surround yourself with positive people with positive energy, those people who is like-minded, so they can push you and move forward. Point number 3 is later on, after this conversation, Jon actually continued to fight for what he believed, and he eventually successful, even though he kept falling. There'll be hurdles along the way. But he was successful afterwards to save the humanity. So point number 3 is that no matter what you achieve, no matter what you're gonna face, when you try to achieve your dream, you're gonna fall a lot of time along the way. And for me, it doesn't matter how many times you fall. So what matters for me is how many times you stand up after you fall down. That's what counts. So friends, now go and fail again. Thank you.